I think it's good. I don't need this. Hey! What's up? Guys, this is so cool. I remember, when we showed people the Superman trailer for the first time, and it was just one of the real highlights of that whole journey, and this is the next highlight in that journey, and I really want to bring the man up on stage who made this all happen for us, and that is Mr. Craig Gillespie. The director. For those of you, for that one person out there who doesn't know.
There's probably a few. But so excited to be here and to show this trailer to you. It's, under the guidance of Peter and James. This one's James.
Oh, and Peter's out there somewhere.
They really supported us to make something that's unique and different and still within this universe. And being able to have these guys to have our backs so we could lean into something that feels quite unique and exciting with an actor that you're about to meet that is just awesome. And it was perfectly cast by James for this. You'll see in the trailer, we're excited for it, and there'll be a lot more of that, but I think they really captured what we were going for. So that's my part on it.
I think we should just show the trailer.
Yeah. You guys not seen it?
No! All right, let's do it. Let's show
Oh,
the
this
trailer.
could be really awkward, but we'll find out.
BD here. I got to go to the Supergirl event on Sunday in New York City. It was on December 7th. By the time you're seeing this, it's December 11th. And you've probably seen the Supergirl trailer by now. I saw it twice at that event. I watched it on the screen there on that stage, and it was a really fun event. So instead of kind of breaking down the trailer, which I'm sure heavy spoilers, new rock stars, go read some comics, lots of channels already have great breakdowns, Screen Crush, I wanted to do a video sort of recapping what was said there, and I also have a full video of the event, which is going to play in a second. Instead of recapping what they said on stage, I figured I'd just play that video for you. But I did talk to Peter Safran for quite a while and James Gunn at the event, and obviously there's a lot going on with the DC Universe, with Warner Brothers, with everything, and with Supergirl. So we talked about a few things, and I got some highlights here that I'm going to read to you. And I wanted to just share my reaction to the trailer real quick. There's a lot more I have to say about this on the Face Hero episode that Jenna and I recorded at the event. It's podcast only. It's about 30 minutes long. It's us running through the details of the trailer that we caught. And I also have a live stream that I'm doing. So by the time you're seeing this, there is already a live stream up on the channel where I gave away a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic signed by James Gunn that I got at the event. So thank you guys in advance for the support, for subscribing, and for everything. But these are the updates that I heard before we play the video of the full event with Milly Alcock, Craig Gillespie, the director of Supergirl, Peter Safran, and James Gunn. This is something maybe someone else asked, but nobody else was around when I asked. So this might be an exclusive to the channel here. Supergirl is going to be less than 2 hours long, says Peter Safran. Right now the movie's under 2 hours. So that's a pretty interesting stat. Superman was about 2:10, I believe it was. I think a movie is as good as its runtime is only important if it's making the movie the best it can be. The movie itself, the story should find the runtime. So under 2 hours for Supergirl right now is a pretty safe time, I think. And that's nothing crazy, but an interesting fact I think a lot of people will enjoy hearing about. Also, speaking of cuts of movies, Clayface is going to turn in its first cut in January. Now, I stood in when Sean O'Connell from CBR was talking to Peter Safran as well, and I mean, this was kind of an outright impromptu interview on the spot. He was recording it, so I'm sure he'll have full quotes about these things on comic book resources, and I encourage you to go check those out. I did hear about how Peter said that they cried during Milly Alcock's audition. I guess that's when you know. If an actor is so good that you cry, that's great. He also said Momoa is basically Lobo in real life. He said they love it when the casting is a person volunteering to play the part and be the part, and that seems to be exactly what happened with Jason Momoa's Lobo. There's no comment on the Netflix or Paramount stuff. At the time, it was just Netflix one. That was, and not all the other headlines that were coming about Warner Brothers being bought by another studio. So there's just, they don't have any comment on it. I think that's the smart thing to do. But I figured that, people are going to ask about that, so I'll throw it out there. Peter said there's a ton of Supergirl merch coming. I brought up Hot Toys. That seems to be coming down the pipeline. I also asked how many costumes there would be because in this comic book, which, I mean, if you've read Woman of Tomorrow, first of all, if you haven't, you really should. This is a phenomenal book. And Tom King not only worked on this book, he worked on this movie. But this trailer is so clearly this book brought to life. This movie seems to be this book brought to life with Lobo added to it, as was originally kind of the plan, as Jenna laid out to me on the Phase Hero episode we recorded that's available now in audio form. It just seems like they added Lobo back into the story, and Ruthie looks straight out of the book. There's so much stuff in here that's straight out of the book. There's some heavy stuff in this book, too, that I think you should get yourself ready for by reading it. But there's going to be a ton of Supergirl merch, it sounds like, which I think is great because Peter emphasized how the DC brand is trying to all be one thing that influences each thing and each other and kind of stays fluid and connected. So like the theme park stuff with Universal, the Lego Batman video game. He didn't say the theme park stuff with Universal is officially happening, I should clarify. But this was the question I asked because I'm very excited about that. I want Epic Universe to have a Metropolis portal, to have a Gotham City portal, or a DC Universe portal that goes to Metropolis, and in the back there's Gotham City, kind of like how Nintendo has Mario, and then in the back it's Donkey Kong Country. So I would love to see that. But he just talked about how they're trying to be cohesive with the merch and with all these different products and all these different mediums where you can experience and consume the DC Universe brand. They want them all to be connected and exciting, and he seemed really fired up about that. I mean, there's already more DC in Fortnite than there was. There's more DC Hot Toys figures. There's more DC merch than there was under previous regimes, and now it just seems like it's more streamlined, and I think that's sort of Peter's role in this, and Gary and a couple other people over there, and I love that. They're doing that. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and it makes me excited as a collector. Look at my damn room. And then the other thing he said was there's a show coming next year that he's really, really excited about that we're going to hear more about soon. And I said, oh, is it one that was announced during the slate? So then I said, Paradise Lost, Creature Commandos, Waller, Booster Gold. And I think that was all that I named. And he said, it's not one of those. He's like, but you may have heard stuff about it. And I'm assuming that means the Jimmy Olsen show is coming. So Jimmy Olsen show seems like a go. Supergirl under 2 hours. And Clayface cut coming in January. Other than that, James Gunn said that Supergirl might be heavier, darker than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which was a pretty heavy movie. There's animal stuff that's really heavy in that movie. There's character stuff that's really heavy in that movie that are not animal characters, I should specify, because there's, animal characters that are main characters. And it just sounds like Supergirl. To me, it sounds like The Breakfast Club meets Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, apparently with a heavier spin on it, too. So I'm in. I love it. Can't wait. I love what the DC Universe is doing, and it's just a good time to be a fan of these superhero genres movies. I don't even know if you call the superhero thing a genre. I think they've said that. I think you have superheroes as characters in movies, and this seems like a coming-of-age sort of fun, cosmic, space traveling romp. I'm excited. What did you guys think of the trailer? Let me know in the comment section, and enjoy this footage of the event. This is James Gunn, Peter Gillespie, Peter Safran, and Milly Alcock at the Supergirl event in New York City on December 7th. Enjoy.
Time for it all to sink in, right?
Do it again! Do it again!
Louder!
Do it again!
One more time! Let's do it again! Another person that maybe we should...
I know. Yeah, guys, of course, somebody missing from the stage right now.
Yeah?
Milly Alcock.
Yeah!
So, Milly, that's the first time you've seen it,
Yeah.
right? Fully complete.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
Crazy.
Is this so weird? Is this so surreal
It's
for you?
so
right now?
weird.
Yeah.
In the best way.
It is.
No, it's really surreal seeing like everyone's work
Yeah.
come together and kind of, it's gonna happen. Shit.
What are you guys most excited for people to see in this movie?
When he says you guys, is he asking you?
I'm asking both of you. You can answer individually or together. I know you're like a hybrid.
Listen, look, this is really an anti-hero story. It's like what I loved about the script that Anna wrote and what you guys were supporting is she's got a lot of baggage and a lot of demons coming into this, which is very different than where Superman is in his life. And having Milly be able to come in and play that, it's like, and all the complexity of that, and do it in a very human way that gives it, where we can like actually have empathy for her, and the dance of the humor, and somebody that has that toughness was such a gift to get because she was obviously already casted for this. So I was incredibly lucky. It worked out great, and I'm excited for everybody to see that because it's really surprising the the headspace that she's in and the journey she goes on for a typical superhero movie, which this is not.
Yeah. All of our crew's hard work in like curating the world physically, all the worlds physically, all the aliens, all the VFX, all the like literally thousands of people who made this project come to life. So I'm really excited for their work to be reflected for people to see it.
Yeah, listen, for me, this is such a cool experience because Craig has been one of my favorite directors for many years. Tanya was my favorite movie of the year. And so him coming in was awesome. And just as weird is Milly, I mean, even weirder in a way. Because when I first read Woman of Tomorrow, Peter and I were just in talks about taking over DC Studios. It was not a done deal. But still, that didn't stop us from fantasizing about how we would do it, what would the projects be, how would it take place. And the first thing that excited me was reading this book and saying, I think that's something we could adapt as a film and really have a different take on Supergirl, a character who is, you know, so many times female superheroes are so perfect, and she's not that at all. She's very imperfect, you know, like male superheroes have been allowed to be for a while. And I was excited about doing it, and I said, you know who would be great? This is totally true. I remember on the phone saying, you know who would be great as Supergirl? That little girl from House of... Are you watching House of the Dragon? That little girl, that little tiny kid from... that little miniature human being from House of the Dragon. Yeah. I think she's really got something special about her. And then, you know, whatever it was, a year and a half, 2 years later, to have you come in and audition for the role in the way you did was just incredible. And I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I really am. I mean, it's like, and so I can't wait. The thing I'm the most excited for you guys to see is her. She's so good in the movie and really has this swagger that is so different from you. I love it. Which I think you can see in the movie.
You can, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I can't wait for you guys to get to see this movie, and I can't wait for you to get to know this character and get to see Craig's work in a completely different way than the stuff he's done before, and see a DCU movie that's different from anything that's, you know, that we've done so far. From the beginning, we said this is a story-based medium. We want stories to be in theaters that are cool and different from each other. And this movie, I think as you can see, is not exactly just a female clone of Superman. It's its own thing entirely. And with a character who is equally worthy of this treatment, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
No, I appreciate that. It's like when we came in and James was in the middle of shooting Superman when I met on this, and I said, how much do you want us to tie into what you're doing? And he's like, I want to treat this like the comic book world, where there's each one is its own graphic novel with its own artists and its own story writers, and this is your vision of it. And you can do what, you know, take that and do what you want with it. And it was so liberating to hear that and be supported with that, like, throughout. So I really appreciated it. That's all I need.
Thank you guys for being here.
Hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This is what it looked like walking in. That's me being nerdy and excited for the Supergirl trailer. You'd walk through those red, clear, transparent drapes into this downstairs area with Supergirl branding just everywhere. There was mirrors on the wall. You can see I'm quite excited. I don't think the blue and red lights lining these stairs are typically there. I think this was all installed as part of the Supergirl activation. That was in New York City on December 7th. So you'd walk into the club, they had an open bar, they had a birthday girl margarita and Supergirl themed drinks. They also had a giant crypto dog bowl, and that screen is the screen we watched the trailer on. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.